Hello guys, good morning. Can anybody hear me?
Good morning.
Good
Yeah,
morning.
good morning. Please I know we already past time, but they just sent the link, so let's just give others 2 more minutes to join so that we would start. All right, everyone, let's start. We've passed the 2 minutes test. Please host, hello, DP Disco, please make me go so that I can share my screen. Hello? All right, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so for today, right, we'll start with user persona. We'll get to know what user persona is and how we can craft user persona. I remember that in one of the class. Please let's confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear
All
you.
right, okay. So this section, this is the explanation part is going to be brief, not too long, but like I said in one of the classes, I said user persona is a fictional representation of your ideal customer. So you've done your research, you've you've done your research, and now you're trying to build empathy with your target user. So what you're trying to basically get in this particular stage is to be able to represent them in a fictional way as though you know them based on the data you get from your research. So why do you need it? You need to be able to answer the following questions. Who are your ideal customers? What are their current behavior? What are their needs and their goal? And then what issues and pain points do they currently face? So that's what you're trying to do. That's what you're trying to do. What are the key data that you would always get a user persona? One is the header. You would always get the header, demographic profile, goals, scenarios, pain points. These are things you would always get. So when we talk about the header, right, what exactly is the header? Get to talk about maybe some things that you get to put. Now, the most important thing in any user persona is the pain point, the goal, the demography. So any other data that you're adding is because you want to add those data. Let's take, for instance, you get to put the person's name and maybe a favorite quote of this person, and then you write the demographic profile. Now, this demographic profile includes personal background, professional background, where are they working, what is their marital status, what's their educational status, age, gender, and all of that. So you would know what features and what you can do for them. You also get to know their technology background. Do they know how to use phones and all of that? So most of this data, right, you get it from your research. Like I said, that's why you need to craft your research questions in a way where it will be so easy to be able to get all of these. Now, the next one is you get to think about the user environment, their physical, social. So I'll talk about the technological context of a user. Then psychographics, you get to talk about if they enjoy luxury, there are some things they enjoy, if they like for this particular user persona now, for this particular article I'm using, it's talking mostly about someone that is in someone that loves that likes traveling. So doing a user persona for a travel app, so you can see talking about if this person loves spa treatments, if the person likes exclusivity, if they enjoy local cuisines, and if they prefer to travel alone or not. So these are like psychographics data that you get to do. Then the next one is you put the end goal, what is inspiring them, what exactly they want to accomplish using your product. So the end goal is what would is very important in a user persona. Now, for sometimes, right, some persons add scenarios in the sense that you talk about this person's day-to-day activity and all of that. And then remember to always include the pain points, and basically that's it for user persona. Now the next thing we're going to do, is there any question or it's gotten? Any questions so far? Okay. All right, so next thing I want us to do is I've been saying this in class, right? That um you don't create anything from afresh. You don't. I said it in the last class that we should go and also read about user persona. So this is one way I do all of my design, which is I come up with things. Now, what you need to notice, your user persona also has to be fine. So we are getting to the point where we get to talk about, you get to play around with some colors and all of that. So this is what I normally do. So would select together what would want to design. So if you come to user persona, right, just type user persona and Google and go to image, you'd see the different user persona. All these are user persona. This is a user persona. This is a user persona. You get to see different styles. So this should let you know, or this should show you what or how a user persona looks like. From everything I explained, this is the demography where you have the age, the occupation, and all of that. The pain point is there, the goals, and all of these ones are extra things that you can add, like the most used device, the likes of this person, and all of that. So this is one sample of the user persona. This is another sample of the user persona. If you notice, all the things I mentioned, yeah, yeah, demography, biography, sometimes needs, pain points, and goals. Most important thing in any user persona. This is a user persona, same thing. Get to put a scenario about tech, wants and needs, then frustrations. So you can see all of this included in a user persona. Now, after looking at the user persona you can see online, the next thing is to be able to now say, okay, this is how I want to do my. So let me add UI to the back of this so that I can go through Dribble or any other place. Okay, so let me go to Dribble. Okay, so this is Dribble. Just go there. So I can now come here and say user persona. So the reason I'm doing all of this, right, is to show you different user persona, is to show you plenty so that you can eventually just decide how you want to do your own design. So this is one. This is another type of user persona. So I'm guessing we now get the point, or we now get uh this the what's the right word to use on what or how a user persona should look. So now that we've seen different user persona, let's get to Figma and start on it. So remember that in the previous class, we talked about the different tools of Figma. So if I want to start designing, the first thing I need to do is to pick up my frame, right? So I'll pick up my frame and I'll come here. So because it's user persona, and from what we've seen so far, right, it's mostly a large screen. It's not on a phone screen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a desktop frame, and I have picked my desktop frame. So let me zoom in. Sorry, this is not where I wanted to zoom in. So let me zoom in. For you to zoom in, you use your control and plus, or command and plus, anyone. So I've zoomed in. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to rename this to be user persona. Okay, so this is it. Now, what are the data I said you need to have in a user persona? So it's now time for me. So for me, I'll be using a food delivery app, right? I want to do a user persona for a food delivery app. So the first thing I'll do is I have this, and now I get to divide it into sections. So let's say I can decide to put a rectangle here, and I'll say maybe this is where I want my picture to be. And then I'll divide this into say 4 boxes, depending on what I want to achieve, right? Or depending on how I want to design my user persona. So let's say I have this, and then I'm duplicating this, and I am having this. And next off, or I can decide to say, okay, this comes here, and this goes here. So decide to divide it like this, and then this same way. So first off, the only thing I'm doing here is to divide my screen. I've not started designing or anything. I'm trying to divide my screen, and then to ensure that, okay. So I have this. Okay. Please shortcut to duplicate is Control D. Oh, okay. So, Michael, your question on the step-by-step tip on everything we have done, like from this to that, or after this, you have done this. Okay. Okay. So this is the way we take it, right? You start by your research. Before you do anything, you start by your research. From the what's it called? From the design thinking process, empathizing phase is the first. So you start with your research. So with your research, you send out your research questions. You plan for your research. First, you set the questions, send it out to people. Maybe you're also doing interview, and you're also doing, what is it called? You're doing interview, then you're doing surveys. So all of this, right? You start with this. So let me use this and explain it as a case study. So you first of all start with your research. This is the first step, your research question. So before you even start with your research, you would have gotten to this stage where you already know the project. You already know about the project, right? You know the project itself. So you know what you're trying to work on. So that's the first thing you do, know what you're trying to work on. And then you get to the research phase where you get to set your interview questions and then your survey questions. And after you're done, you send it out. Now, the next steps, right? You can interchange them. So after your research, the next thing you get to do is analyze your research. From analyzing your research, these are the things you get to do. You have the empathy map. Now we are starting with user persona. You can also start with empathy map, but just know that these are required: user persona, empathy map. So immediately after the user persona and empathy map, you can now get to user story, right? You talk about the user story, and then we also have the customer journey map. So you also get to do the customer journey map. So after that, you get to now do your information architecture. Your information architecture, the reason why I start with information architecture and no user flow, so maybe this is a form of misarrangement, is because information architecture houses all your features. It houses everything, including if you need to have a backend. So almost everything you have on the platform, that is what your content, you put it on information architecture. And then you go to your user flow. So you need to do user flow, how users are supposed to do this thing. So there's one that I skipped, which is competitive analysis. Yeah, you also get to do competitive analysis. So it comes before all of this, user flow and all of that. So if you want to start, you start with competitive analysis. So you can do them at any point, right? But these are the things you need to always have. Competitive analysis will help you know your competitors and the new features that you get to add for them. So you can put it anywhere. It can come after your user persona. It can come before. But just know that you need to do it because all of these things are independent of themselves. And after the user flow, you now get to the low fidelity. That's you start your sketching. After sketching, if you don't want to sketch, you go straight to Figma and start with your black and white designs. And then after your black and white designs, you now get to, so for some people, they test with wireframe. Without colors, you can test. And then after that, you move to your style guide. What is your style guide? Your style guide is now when the colors you would use, the text, your components, your component data, your component set, your buttons, every other thing. Then your icons, you put them, and then you start your visual design. You now start the other part of your design. You can see it. And after that, you can still test, right? You can still test with this particular design. So you can see that on this, we have more than one designs. Onboarding screen. After onboarding screen, you have your authentication screens. After authentication screens, you have your home screens. After your home screens, you can now start designing all the other stage, and then you can say you're done. You can still do testing at this phase. So I guess Michael have been able to run that over. Hello, Michael, please confirm so that we can move on. All right. Okay, so let's get back to this. So I think I want to do this like this. So the reason why I'm doing it is because let me move all of them to here. So first, this is what I am doing. Now I will get to write. For now, I'm not thinking about colors or anything first. I just want to set all my datas before I get to do all of these things. So remember I said I'm doing something for food delivery app. So let me start with the demography. So for the demography, right, I can get to put things like name. So this font is too big. This 64, so I'll reduce it to 24. So I'll put the name and I'll duplicate it name. And then let's say I use so I'm using any name. Now next thing I'll just be duplicating this. And this is age, might say 32 years. And profession, so you can include occupation. So because of occupation that I would put here, I would get to shift all of these things. So that's occupation. And is there anything from all I've explained, is there anything out you want me to put there?
Vital status. Vital
Yeah,
status.
yeah, exactly. Okay, occupation, let's say software developer, 32 years, gender, male, marital status, for marital status, right? I'll put divorced. Okay, so is there anything that I would need to add here? So I don't think there's anything I want to add here. So let me just, I'm selecting everything so that I can bring it a bit downward. Yeah, I can bring it here so that I would also get to reduce this. So you get to know why I'm reducing it later. So I can decide to put like a favorite quote of this person somewhere. Or let me see if, yeah, I can do it like this. Okay. So I have all of this data now here. So I can decide to, so I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking of something. Do I expand it or I leave it like that? So I would get to know. So I might decide to be, because it's a food delivery app, right? I might decide to put like some things that maybe lifestyle. I might decide to include lifestyle. So I'm thinking of where is the best place for me to include it. So let me get another box. So if you notice, I am not even thinking of how fine it is for now. I'm just doing my work. So I can just decide to put a lifestyle coach or yeah, a lifetime coach. Maybe say this is demanding and blah blah blah, and I want something different. So let me just put that. So, so, so I'm just bringing in a lifestyle coach to validate what this person does. So, all right. So then for here, right, I'll bring in an image. So I'll go to one of my plugins, Bavatar, and I'll say fill image randomly. So you can bring in image from anywhere. We already talked about. So I want you to download, when it's your time, you download maybe on Google and just bring it in. So I already have my image here. And next off is for me to talk about maybe needs pain points, motivations, goals. So I think I'll still have to break down this. I'll still have to break this down. So I'll start with needs. So I've already written down some of these things. So that's why you see that I'm just copying. I'm just pasting. So let's say these are his needs. So so key needs. So after the content, we'll now look for we'll now start making it fine. For now, let's just focus on this. And once you click on this, right, you come to your text section. Remember, we talked about all of this. You see 3 dots, 1, 2, 3. So this is how you get to, if you want to use a bullet point, you want bullet points, you just get to, you'd see it, or if you want 1, 2, 3, anyone, but I prefer to use bullet points. So you can get it from there. And so this is it. So I'll duplicate this, right? And I'll copy it and bring it here. Okay, so next one, what should I do? After needs, what do you think I should put? Pain points. So I'll just get to put the pain points. So what are the needs of this person? Is seeking a reliable app with fast delivery option, value clear and transparent pricing, desired efficient customer support, and all of that. So what are his pain points? Let's see his pain points with previous apps. He struggles with inconsistent delivery time and occasionally orders inaccuracy, leading to frustration during busy time. So this is pain points. I might want to add one more. What other pain points do you think someone can struggle with? Okay, so I can decide now to, let me do this, inconsistent delivery time. This is one. So let me break this down. Order inaccuracy. What again? Guys, what pain points can someone get? What pains can someone get from using food delivery app? Yeah.
Okay. Pinpoints.
Customer service.
Delivering the food code. I think it still boils down to
Yeah.
deliver.
For customer service.
Okay.
So that is also correct. Let's see, cold food. Well, cold food can be due to delivery time. High pricing.
Helma, we can actually change that code to delay in delivery.
Okay, yeah, we already have inconsistent delivery time.
Yeah, so it covers for that too.
Yeah, sure. All right, so we already have our pain points here.
Sorry.
Okay.
Delivery can be fast and they can still deliver cold food. So I think it could be separate.
Yes. So we can maybe say bad food or spoiled food. I don't know what the name. I think let's just put.
Stale.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Stale.
Okay,
Stale.
still. Okay, so let me check the charts. This your user persona would be a good template. Don't use it as a template. When it's time to do your own, you use different ones. So that's for pain point. So what again should we motivations or goals? So we can decide to do motivations here. Motivation. What is this person's motivation? He's looking for this is what is going to motivate him, or this is what is going to motivate your user to use your platform. So you can see this. And the last one, then the last one would be goals and objective. So, pain point can be also said to be frustrations. So in case you see other, what's it called? So what are his goals? So we can change this frustration pain points to goals. Let's say fast delivery, accurate orders, good customer service, and probably moderate pricing. And we can add more one. What should we call this last one now? Still food. If we want to put it as a goal, what should we put it as?
Good preservation.
Yeah, or healthy meal. You see this? So you see this is because I am just doing it here. That's why it's like this. So you don't get to throw all of this fast delivery. You might get to make the content better. So now that we are done with all of this, let's start working on this very well. So first I would add a border radius to be 20 so that it doesn't look so dull. So let's go. I'll add all to be 20 corner radius so it will look sharp. So now that I have this, so next thing I would do, right, is I would want to, I already have my picture. So I'll go to Google and I would say color palettes. So you get to understand while I'm doing this. So I'll get to look for, so I'll copy this and come here. So I have a weak point, right? Which is I don't know how to use colors. So most times I don't bother myself on using colors. So I just use things like this. So I'll make use of all of these colors here. So first off, I would get this, but you'd notice that I won't use that exact color. So you see where I'm choosing the, what's it called? So I'll do same. So now that I have this like this, I would get to work on all of these. So I'll make this maybe medium or bold. Yeah. So let me see if I play with this color, if it will be better. Okay. So this is better. So once I'm done, right, I'm going to group all together. All right, so I want to group all together. So first, I'll lock this rectangle. This is how to lock it. You come to the right-hand side and lock it. So the reason why I'm locking it is so that I can highlight all of these things without issue. So after that, I can unlock it. So after grouping it, Ctrl G, I can unlock it and then arrange it. You can see that they are now in the center. So I'll do the same for this. I'll make this bold. What did I use here? Is it bold or medium? Semi-bold, okay. So I'll use this semi-bold for this. And let me see. So I just increase the line spacing a bit. So I would come here, Ctrl G this, and then arrange it so. And I'll look for a color for this. I'll use the second color, right? But like I said, I'll take it from here. Is this working? So let me. So I just want to play with different colors. So let's see. What is playing here? So this is it. You can see that my contents are not in the box. Can you discover something? My contents are not in the box. But if I come here, you would see them here. So this is what I'm going to do. Sometimes you would experience something like that. So let's see this rectangle. Let me name it demography. Demography. Let's see this. This is lifestyle. But you can see that lifestyle is not, all of these images, can you see that they are not in this frame? So what you do is just drag them and bring them in the frame. So that's what I'll do for all. I will drag all and just bring them inside the frame. So after doing that, if you check, you would see all of them. So in case you don't see your designs, you just bring them in the frame and that's it. So let's go on with all the other ones. So this, let's see, it's on 2932. I'll just increase this a bit. The line spacing. So I'll just bring this up and like I'm going to arrange this to the center, to the middle. I would have to group these two before I can arrange it to the middle. Is there any question for me? So sometimes if there's a question, please come at the end of the class, can we get this recording? Yeah, so the sending of the recording is not in my hands, right? You get to chat up the admins so that they would send it. And what other color are we using? These colors are not they are too similar. So but we'll manage it. Okay, so all right, so this is it. 32. So I'll do the same. I'll just make it fast. This is semi-bold. All right, so what's so I'll do same for this. So this is basically me trying to arrange it. And so let me look for a color. Sorry. Okay, so this color is not giving me what I want. So I can just decide to, or better still, I can decide not to use plenty colors. The goal of this is to make it fine, right? So I can decide to not do with the color and just add a stroke to it. So let's not do with the color and just add a stroke. Keep it simple as possible. So the main thing is this that we are doing. The main thing is the content, not okay. So I already have my user persona here. All right, so this is my user persona. Is there any question? Is there any question, guys? Hello, are we still here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, is there any question? Okay, Ibrahim, you can ask your question. Okay. All right, guys. So, it's time to do your own user persona. So this would be like a guide. So, but then, what I want you to do now is go online, right? Check for user persona, replicate anyone that you think is finer, or the one that you think is fine. But use your content. Or should I give you a template? No, I don't need to
Yes.
give you a template. No, I don't need to give you a template. I want you to start learning how to get stuff yourself. So, just do a user persona for each of the platform that you chose yourself. You can see different sample. Some person tone is very, you can see this. The only difference between what we've done and this is the fact that this has some form of icons, which we can still decide that we want to add it here and all of that. So let's see. Let me see if I can. Make this. Okay. I've changed my user persona. Okay, so I use a plugin called Bavata. So remember that there are plugins. So if you right click and come to plugin, you just need to come to manage plugin and just search Bavata. Bavatars. And once you run it, it will give you images that you can use.
I have a question, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Ask them.
Yep. Thank you for the plugins. Are you going to give us plugins that you also use for your own
Yes,
day-to-day?
yes. Yeah, sure. So the reason why I'm not bothered about that, or the reason why I've not done that is because we've not got into UI directly. But while we are doing this, any plugin that I use, I'll let you know. But just put it in mind that the major plugins you need to use are icons. So you can go on, you can just go to plugins and type icons. You see different icons plugins. So all you now need to do is just check which one do you like, which one don't you like. So it's just like you going to the market to buy clothes. You only buy what you like. So you can get plugins for icons, text. So just think about all of those things that they use for design: images, shadows, colors. So once you just type the keywords, you see different variety of plugins that you can decide to select from. All right, guys. Your time starts now. a
Sorry,
user persona?
I have a question.
Oh, okay, go on.
For us to get the avatars, because I'm following as you are doing yours. I went to plugin, the manage plugin. I typed the avatars, but I can't see where I can download. I'm not even seeing images. I'm just
So,
seeing.
so once you
I'm
click on Bavata first, right? So once you click on plugins,
okay.
let's say I click on plugins, and because you don't have it, you go to manage plugins. If you come down, right, you would see something like this, and it
Yeah.
will be run. You just click
Mm-hmm.
on the run. So once you click
Yeah.
on run, I think you've installed it. So it works when you have a shape. So if you notice, I add a shape. So if I come here and I draw, after running it as a person, once you draw a circle, you just need to come back to plugins and go to Bavata. Then you'd see it under your plugins. So you have two options, which is fill randomly. That means it will give you any image they like. Or you come to select and fill. Once you click on select and fill, it's going to open this for you. And then you can now select which of the pictures you want. If you want a female, you come, you select female pictures. If you want casual, professional, if you want to include age, you can do it, and they would give you different professional pictures and all of that. So you can just select. So once I select now on the one I want, you would see it that it's already on my. I think I like this image. Let me change my image. Where did I see that guy from? I
Okay,
think I
so
like.
I am still having a problem. I'm trying to select an image from all, and it's just showing me the wrist arrow, the finger arrow. I don't know. It's
Okay,
not
so
clicking.
you're using your laptop, right? Are you using your laptop?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay, so I'll make you host now. Oh, I can't make you that. I would have asked to allow you share your screen. Oh, you know what? Screenshot what you can see and send it on the chat. Let me look so that I know how to fix that.
Okay. Here. Mhm. I'm coming.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Have you dropped it on the chat?
Yes, I have done that.
Okay, it's yet to come. Oh, okay, on this chat, I was thinking is, all right, so once you see it like this, right, all you need to do is to click on one image and go back. Once you click on it, if you check in your Figma, you see that it has entered.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So just check your Figma. Once you close it,
Okay.
check.
Okay, yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
All right, guys. So just come up with one. You do the other ones in there. Just one. Make it 5, please. So mine would be showing. Mine will be on the screen while you're doing yours. So let me just pause recording so that it doesn't. So I know that in class I talked about empathy map. Let me go back. So what exactly is empathy map? Empathy map is just you trying to also understand your user. So just the way user persona is still you trying to understand your user. That's the same meaning of empathy map. You just do it to understand your user. It visualizes all your findings, all the things you're able to gather about your user. So what are the 4 quadrants of empathy map? What the user says, what the user thinks, what the user feels, and what the user does. So these are like the 4 things you would always see in empathy map. Now, for some empathy maps, right, you would see the parts where they will still include the pain points and all of that. So for the part of what a user says, you're just trying to gather direct quotes from the users that have been gathered from your research or previous data. So statements like "I need something fast," "I'm not sure," all of those things those statements that it's obvious that this is what this person is saying. Then in this particular quadrant of what they think, you focus more on what the user is thinking, and the user doesn't need to say it loud. It's just what you're thinking. This is boring, this is not fine, this is wrong. All of those things that someone is thinking in his or her head. Then what the users feel. This category is about the user's emotional state, and it's like what this user is feeling when the person is using your platform, or what they felt previously using other platforms, and then what the user does. So it's more like the action, search button, click on this, do this and that. So that's what you'll be doing in that particular phase. So why do we use empathy map? We use it to understand our users' needs and goals in a more organized way. So you're trying to look at their needs from 4 lenses: what they think, what they say, what they feel, and what they do. So that's what you're basically doing in empathy map. So now the next thing is for us to check out empathy map UI. So how does it look? So you can see this is an empathy map. This is an example of an empathy map. This is also another example. So from what you can see so far, it's like a 4 quadrant kind of design where you have the say, does, and all of that. You can see it. This is an empathy map. So different empathy maps here. If I go to, so now I think this particular design that we've been using since from the onset. Let me open it back so that you see how or what an empathy map looks like. So you can see it, what the user says, think, does, and feel. Then this is the user. So is there any question on the explanation? Okay, so is there any question? I'm waiting for us to reply.
No question.
Okay, so let's do the empathy map. So I'll start by duplicating this, and I'll be renaming this to empathy map. So I can start with this, putting this in the center. So let's say 50 by 50. So middle and center. So for empathy map, I might want to change the color to maybe something different. Probably. I've deleted our color stuff. So I might want to I want to use a different color. And then the next thing is to divide it for some people, right? This is what they do. You use lines. This is center, right? This. So I'll use lines. This is one. I'll duplicate it and I'll bring it down here. This is two. I'll duplicate this again and I'll bring it to this corner. But then for this, I'll make it 180. That's changed the direction. And then I'll duplicate it and I'll bring it. So you can see this. So let's make it 3, 3, 3. So we have this. So let me move this a bit. If you notice, they are not close to each other. So I'll move it a bit. All right, so I have what I want to have here. So depending on what you want to do, right? Let me see. Depending on what you want to do. So the next thing I need to do is to write everything I want to write. This is for sales. what the user says. I'll duplicate it and this is for what a user thinks. So I'll expand this. I'll do same for this, expand. I'll do same for this, expand. And I'll do same for this, expand. So after this, I'll bring these two. So this side would be for what the user does and feels. So let me make all of this bold. So this section will be for C. So now the next thing I'll do is I'll go to plugins. I'll say sticky notes. So I need sticky notes. So I'll just run sticky notes. So for the first, I can just decide to now start typing all of those things I want to type. Okay, Nuruddin, I've seen yours. Nice one, but then the color they are not matching, so you might want to work on your color. And for your box, right, give it some spacing. There's no space between and it's not properly arranged. So you might want to work on that. Ibukun. Okay, this is nice, Ibukun. But also your spacing, you might want to work on it. All right, so for sales, right? I'm doing for sales first. So what do you think a user can say based on what we've been doing so far? This one we are too quiet. No problem. I'll tell you what a user can say. For say, a user can say, I wish the delivery could be more reliable. Okay. So I did not know that I was adding them. So I have like how many sticky notes here? Okay. So for this, let me reduce it to 24 and so this can be smaller. So this is under C, right? So I can add more. What again can my user say? So this So you can. So what can my user say again? I feel stressed when no. So this should be, I am stressed when I have to wait longer time. So you can duplicate it and bring it down. Then maybe add more things to it. You can add more things that your users would say, right? And when you're done with say, you can now come to what they think. So this is how I like, depending on what you want to achieve, right? So all right, so for this, you make it a different color. That's why it is, yeah. So what can my user think? Something, I hope this app understands the urgency of my order. You can also think, I wonder if this app considers my preference. Consider my food preference. Um, I think I can, I hope I'll be able to call customer care. And any other thing you want to add? So this is another way you can do it. And might not be the best. Okay. So for those, what will my user do? Frequently check reviews and ratings. My user can prefers to order from restaurants restaurants with clear menu. Explore new options. So this will not enter. So from food menu. And then what's the next? Okay, so and then you can, what do you think my user would feel part-time? Frustrated. When faced with bad service. Relieved when food comes early. Satisfied with the seamless process. Excited to try new dishes. Okay, so you have to export it and send it to the WhatsApp group. So my empathy map. So there's an issue, and the issue is that these things are not in my design, so I need to copy all of them and put it in my design. Okay, so this is it. Another way you can do this empathy map is you can do it like this, where you have the 4 quadrants. Just the way you did your user persona, where you have the 4 quadrants. Duplicate it. And then you now have the picture in the center. And then probably a name. So this is for C, doors, but any of these 4. Another way you can do it is still take this for and put the picture in the center. And this is it. So is there any question so far? Is there any question? You know you people are quiet.
I will not even lie. I'm not following this empathy map because I'm still stuck with this first one. So my question is, where will I get how to export now? Because I've been trying to.
Okay.
I'm not using the system for Zoom. So
Okay, so once you click on the user persona, right? Once you click on it, you just click on the frame and then you come to this part of the screen. You would see export here. You just need to click on the plus and export it. Once you export it, it will be on your laptop. So if you're not using your laptop, if your laptop is not on WhatsApp, you just need to send the image to your phone and send it on WhatsApp.
okay, thank you. So I'm to choose PNG.
Yes,
Right?
PNG or JPEG, any of them.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome. So let me see if I can make this a bit okay. So I think this color works better. So let me copy it and use it here too. Okay. So you can see the
Hello.
only yeah, hello.
I really, I'm a bit lost too, but no problem. I'll be continue on the road down to this place now. So I
Okay,
don't know,
so
catch up very well at all, practically, but no problem.
so where exactly are you lost?
I'm really lost because firstly, I thought it's because yesterday when on the online, my battery went off, so I couldn't end this thing. So I didn't know what the instruction, because from the understanding, I thought there's going to be physical class. So this morning I left to that place, so only to discover that there's online class, not physical. So on the way, I'll be using my phone to be tracking to before getting done now. So, and most of all those things I can't follow up. I only be trying to just be following with thought. So, but I try to put on everything in my laptop to see what I can do, but no problem about that. I said, let me just say my concern so that if there's any way I could be helped in one way or the other to practicalize some of those things. It's all right.
No, okay. All right, so is there any other question?
If I want to, am I heard?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry. If I want to, before I exported, I grouped everything together. So I want to edit now. And when I wanted to group, I used Control G. I don't know if there is a shortcut for ungrouping.
So you just right click on it and you see on group.
Okay.
There's a shortcut for it, I think. So I think it's Control and X. That's the shortcut. I don't know. That's what my own. Can you see what my screen is showing me? So, but don't just right click and ungroup it.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so is there any other question?
What's the function of that lock and that eye sign at the
Okay,
left hand?
so for the lock, right? Let's say I don't want this thing to move, no matter what I'm doing, I can lock it. And
Okay.
then if you try to drag it, you'd see that it's locked. It won't move until you unlock it. That's when you can move it. So if you want to keep something permanently, then for eye, right? If it's just like opening and closing your eyes. If you open your eyes, you would see something. If you close it, the place will be dark. So if I close this, I won't see the content again. So it's there, but it's hidden. It's there, but it's hidden.
Okay.
Yeah, but if I turn it on
Okay.
back, I would see it. So if you want to hide something, you use the eye turn on, off, and on.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So next one is user story. So for user story, right? Most times you don't. So this is empathy map that we just did. Says, think, feel, and those. We've done user persona for today, and then user story. So you can create user stories. So let's create one. User stories. So who can remember what I said about user story? Can anybody remember? I said something about user stories. That it has, what's it called? Who can remember? Okay, since nobody can remember, let me. I said the user story has, what's it called? As a dash. I want to dash so that I can you remember now? Guys, can you remember?
Yes,
Or it's
yes.
overload?
You spoke about user story, the flow at which
Yeah.
the user takes to achieve a goal.
No, that's user flow. I'm talking about
Yes,
user story. You trying to that has as a dash, I want to dash so that so you're trying to say this in the user voice.
yes, that's true.
Yeah, so that's what a user story is. So let's user stories. A user story is an informal general explanation of a feature from the perspective of the user. So that's what a user story is. You want to do something, you want to put a feature, but you're saying it in the perspective of the user, in the user's voice. So that's why you get to hear things like as a dash, I want to dash so that I can dash. So that's the format for writing a user story. Now let's just look at user story for my food delivery app. Remember that the people I'm servicing are professionals, right? They are professionals. So I want to write a story in their voice. So this is my first user story as a, sorry, let me do this at once. So I don't want my user story to be Okay. All right. So as a busy professional, for instance, I want a food delivery app that ensures reliable and timely service so that I can enjoy quick, convenient service. So you can see that this is my own user story. I've been using a food delivery app since today. So that's why you notice that everything I've been saying is around delivery of food. So you can have more than one user story, the voice of your target audience. So this is the first one. I can have the second one, which is as a tech person, I want an app that is good so that I'll be able to do what I want to do. As a tech savvy. Okay, Mushu, the hand is up.
Yes, the user story. So I understand what the user story is talking, but my question now is that, like maybe for example, I interviewed like three, four. Okay, let me just say three, because I think that is the most effective one. I interview three users. Like if I want to create a user story, will I create user story for the three of them, like user story one, user story two, user story three, or will I create like an aggregated user story for the three of them?
Okay, so now for user story, right, it's mostly around features. It's mostly around the features and not the interview itself. So you can see that in my target audience, I have busy professionals, I have tech service. What a tech person wants is different from what a professional wants. So it can be that a user story can be within the kind of feature I want to build. So let's say, for instance, I want username, I want you to sign up on my platform and I want to use from research, most persons want username and password. I can decide to craft a user story to say, as a as as a Oga bike user or as a food delivery app user, I want to be able to put my username and my password so that I can log into this platform. Now, depending on what each person. In my food delivery app, I have professionals and I have people that are tech service. They all want different things. A food professional just wants an app that would make him get quick delivery. A tech savvy wants an app that has a good interface and effective features that would help him to use it. Then a food, let's say, a food enthusiast might want a platform where he will be able to uh, let's take for instance, this is a food enthusiast. I want a platform that provides diverse food, this and that, so that I can explore. So it's just like the features, trying to put in different features. So yes, you can have more than one user story in a platform in design.
Okay, so what if I get you right? What you are saying is like if the three and the interviewers, maybe like three of them are different personalities, so they should definitely have different user story.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
So I've
okay.
created two
So
user
is that
stories.
also applicable to problem statement, like,
No.
or
Problem
is it
statement
that?
is one. Problem statement is one. Problem
Okay,
statement
okay,
is one. You don't have different problem statements. The only thing you can have different is user story.
okay. And the okay, the import of the empathy map, the user journey, the user flow,
One.
all of them one, have you?
Yes, you're creating just one.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I have three user stories in one. I can just decide to put a subhead in here and call it user stories. Okay, this is my user story. So you can see this has 3 user story. As a private job holder, I want to do this. As a job holder, I want to 3 user stories in one. So this is my own user story. All right, so I'm sending in attendance now. You just need to fill in the attendance, and then you know what to do. So on Monday, I want to see your empathy map. I don't want to see the one I did. I want to see the one that is fine. If your user persona is not fine, look for different ones and ensure that it's fine, right? Find user persona. And then Monday, I will review all in class. Is that okay? So that's the assignment on the group. Fill the
Is there only
assignment.
the persona and the empathy map?
No, with user story. We've done
Okay.
3 of it today. So for some of you, I know that you did not use actual content. So use actual content. Ensure that you make your research. You can use you can read up different articles on user story, see how they craft it and get user persona and get something finer. It should be, you can play around with colors, but don't use plenty colors, right? So so far we've been able to cover this. We've gotten to this point. We've done interview questions, we've done design process, right? We've done interview questions, we've done empathy map, we've done user persona, we've done user story. So on Monday, we'll look at customer journey map, we'll look at competitive analysis, and then user flow. We'll get to user flow, information architecture, and we'll now start design fully. All right, guys, is there any question before I've sent in the attendance so you can fill in the attendance?